Great. So all of this code over here adds a column. Let's go ahead and put it in a separate method, and we'll call it, let's take this extract method and say add column to grid. Perfect. And let's just save it now so we can see the changes later. Add column to grid method. Perfect. Next thing we want to do, we want to remove things here that are redundant and to actually encapsulate it all within a method. Okay, so let's take away these two members. Okay, and now I'm going to get a lot of errors of all on this. Now, instead of using this, I'm going to say var. So I've defined these two members over here. And I can later, not var equals var, sorry. And then I can take away this. So now it's all encapsulated within this method. Let's run this. It still works. Great. But now everything is defined within this method. So let's review what we've done. We've taken the class fields and put them in the method and made the method self-contained. So it's defined products and add them here, defined columns and add them here. Actually, if I'm going to call this method twice or 3 times, I would probably get 3 columns on the grid. Okay, so I've got product ID 3 times on my grid. Cool. Now let's extract the actual column out of it and later send it as a parameter so we can add multiple columns. So we can see here that we have the product ID. Let's put it up there and call it column. Var column equals product ID. Okay, great. And the names are just the names for the controls. They're actually meaningless, so I can remove them. The text for the column is the description for the column, so let's just make this column.caption. Great, let's see what we've done. We called it 3 times, like we've seen before, and we've taken the column out, defined a variable for it, used its caption for the text for the grid column, and its data for the data itself. We'll run this, and it still works. We haven't changed anything. Great, let's save this. And now what's left to do is to get the column as a parameter. Now the column is of type product ID. And we want to accept any type of column. We don't really care if it's text box or a text column or number column or anything else. So there is one type that all columns inherit from. Let me show you how I know that. I'm going to go to product ID. And product ID is of type product ID. Let's go to its definition. And it's of type number column. Let's go to its definition. And it's of type number column. And if I go to its definition, okay, it's of type column base. And if I go to its definition, it's of type column base. Okay, Firefly Box Data Advanced Column Base. And that's the basic type that all columns share. So if I want to refer to a column without specific type, I will use Firefly Box Data Advanced Column Base. So let's just do that. So in our code, we are going to say here that the column is of type Firefly Box Data Advanced Column Base. The code still compiles, it's still legal. So now what I can do, I can go ahead and put this as a parameter and then send it in. So for the first one, I'm going to send controller products product ID and controller product name and controller products anything else, I don't know, quantity per unit. Let's run this. And voila, we've got 3 columns, one for ID, one for name, one for quantity per unit. So we are actually able to dynamically generate the columns just based on code, based on definitions that we put in code. Let's review the changes that we've done. Okay, so we moved the column from being a member to being a parameter for the add column to grid. And we called it with the 3 columns that we want to add. Great. In the next video, we're going to improve on this some more.